Tragedy struck early this morning at 8 when the school once attended by Captain Ibrahim Traoré was violently attacked, leaving 5 students dead and a community shattered. This brutal assault has sent shockwaves through Burkina Faso and raised urgent questions about security and the ongoing threats facing the nation. The school, located in Ouagadougou, holds deep significance as the place that shaped Captain Traoré's childhood, discipline, and values. It was meant to be a safe haven for learning and growth, but today it became the scene of chaos and heartbreak. Eyewitnesses describe a sudden ambush that threw students and staff into panic as gunfire erupted. Reports indicate that a school bus was targeted during the attack, intensifying the terror as children tried desperately to escape the violence. The attackers struck swiftly, leaving little time for defense or evacuation. The loss of 5 young lives is a devastating blow to families and the entire community. This attack is not an isolated incident, but part of a troubling pattern of violence in Burkina Faso, where jihadist groups and other armed factions have increasingly targeted civilians and government institutions. The assault on a school symbolizes a direct attack on the future of the country and its youth. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, who seized power amid a turbulent political climate, narrowly escaped assassination attempts in recent weeks. The attack on his former school adds a personal dimension to the ongoing conflict, highlighting the risks faced by those connected to the current leadership. Security forces have launched investigations and increased patrols in the area, but the incident exposes significant gaps in protection for vulnerable populations, especially children. The government faces mounting pressure to enhance security measures and prevent further tragedies. Families of the victims are mourning deeply, with many calling for justice and accountability. The community has rallied together in grief, holding vigils and demanding answers about how such an attack could happen in a place meant to nurture and educate. International observers have condemned the attack, emphasizing the need for global support to combat terrorism and stabilize the region. Aid organizations are preparing to assist affected families and provide trauma counseling to survivors. The psychological impact on surviving students and staff is profound. Many are grappling with fear, loss, and uncertainty about returning to school. Educators are working to create safe spaces and restore a sense of normalcy amid the trauma. This tragedy also highlights the broader challenges facing Burkina Faso, including political instability, insurgency, and the struggle to maintain public order. The attack on a school underscores the urgent need for comprehensive strategies to protect civilians and rebuild trust. As the nation mourns, questions arise about the motives behind targeting a school and the message the attackers intended to send. It is a stark reminder that education and peace are often the first casualties in conflicts driven by extremism. Community leaders and activists are calling for unity and resilience, urging citizens not to succumb to fear. They emphasize that the future of Burkina Faso depends on protecting its children and ensuring they have access to safe education. The government has promised a thorough investigation and increased security around schools nationwide. However, many remain skeptical, fearing that without significant changes, such attacks could recur. In the coming days, the focus will be on healing, justice, and preventing further violence. The memory of the 5 students lost today will serve as a solemn call to action for all who seek peace and stability in Burkina Faso. If you want to stay informed about this developing story and other important updates, make sure to subscribe to our channel and join our community for the latest news and in-depth analysis. The morning sun had barely risen when the tranquility of Ouagadougou was shattered by a sudden, brutal attack on the school where Captain Ibrahim Traoré once studied. At exactly 8 a.m., gunfire erupted, sending students and teachers into a frantic scramble for safety. The school, a symbol of hope and discipline, was transformed into a scene of chaos and despair within moments. As the attackers ambushed a school bus, the panic intensified. Children, some barely old enough to understand the danger, were caught in the crossfire. Eyewitnesses recount the harrowing moments as students tried to flee, but the violence was swift and merciless. 5 young lives were tragically cut short, leaving families and the community in deep mourning. This attack is a grim reminder of the volatile security situation in Burkina Faso. Jihadist groups have increasingly targeted civilians, schools, and government institutions, aiming to destabilize the nation. The assault on this school is not just an attack on individuals, but an assault on the future of the country itself. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, who rose to power amid political upheaval, has been a focal point in the ongoing conflict. The attack on his alma mater adds a chilling personal dimension to the violence, underscoring the risks faced by those connected to the current leadership and their communities. In response, security forces have intensified their presence in the area, launching investigations and patrols. Yet, the attack exposes glaring vulnerabilities in protecting vulnerable populations, especially children, from extremist violence. The government faces mounting pressure to bolster security and prevent further tragedies. The grief in the community is palpable. Families of the victims are devastated, and local leaders have called for justice and accountability. Vigils and memorials have been held as the community seeks solace and answers in the wake of the senseless loss. International organizations and governments have condemned the attack, highlighting the urgent need for global cooperation to combat terrorism in the Sahel region. Humanitarian groups are mobilizing to provide support, including trauma counseling for survivors and assistance to affected families. The psychological toll on survivors is immense. Students and staff are grappling with fear and trauma, uncertain about returning to school. Educators are working tirelessly to create safe environments and help restore a sense of normalcy amid the ongoing threat. This tragedy also reflects broader challenges facing Burkina Faso: political instability, insurgency, and the struggle to maintain public order. The attack on a school underscores the critical need for comprehensive strategies to protect civilians and rebuild trust in institutions. Questions linger about the attacker's motives. Targeting a school sends a chilling message, aimed at undermining education and hope. It is a stark reminder that in conflicts fueled by extremism, the most vulnerable often bear the heaviest burdens. Community leaders are calling for resilience and unity, urging citizens not to succumb to fear. They emphasize that the nation's future depends on protecting its children and ensuring access to safe, quality education despite the threats. The government has pledged a thorough investigation and increased security measures around schools nationwide. However, skepticism remains, with many fearing that without systemic change, such attacks may continue. In the days ahead, the focus will be on healing and justice. The memory of the 5 students lost will serve as a solemn call to action for all who seek peace and stability in Burkina Faso. This tragic event is a powerful reminder of the ongoing struggle against extremism and the importance of safeguarding education as a foundation for peace and development. To stay updated on this story and other critical news, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Join us as we continue to bring you in-depth coverage and analysis on the issues that matter most.